Hey everybody, and welcome to the stream. Tonight I'm going to show you how to get the Jasmine Crystal, where to go, and the best way to do it, I guess. Jasmine Crystals are found down in the shoal, which is radiation zone in the far west side of Haga Basin. I've found the best way to do it is to have a small base just to the south of the radiation zone. So there are a couple of small land masses that you can use that are outside of the radiation zone. I was lucky enough to get the one I wanted, which was just on the edge. So what I'll do is I will fly over to that little base and we'll do some mining. Now, Jasmine Crystal is used in conjunction with aluminum to make duraluminum. So that's going for your tier 5, and you're going to need quite a lot of it, so that's why I make a base down there. And once you have a base down there, it's much easier to ship it back and forwards. Jasmine crystals, along with any other ore, is heavy, and because it's heavy, it takes a fair old bit to move it back and forwards. Now, a quick tip for you, my base is currently up towards the north end of Haga Basin, so fairly close to the north wall, and I want to get all the way down to the south wall, basically, to the southwest corner. Rather than fly there, and to get there right now, it's going to be, let's have a look, 5,800 meters, which isn't too far, I guess. I mean, I can get there fairly quick in this ornithopter because it's a Mark 6 with thrusters. But the quickest way to get there, in my opinion, is to fly directly to the overworld map by hitting the edge border over here. From there, I can just literally go around the outside of Haga Basin and go back in on the southwest corner. It's quicker and safer, I think. You know, you don't have to worry about any radiation because you're right close to the bottom of the zone wall anyway. What you do need to make sure of is that you've got a hazmat suit or radiation suit. You can get Mark 4s fairly easy, but I would strongly suggest you get Mark 5s. You'll also be able to get and make iodine tablets. And the basic idea of iodine tablets is they do not protect you from the radiation, but what they will do is they will dissipate the radiation much quicker. Okay, so we're on the overworld map here, and what I'm going to do, if this represents like a clock dial, represents Haga Basin, we've just come in at the top here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go right round, and we want to be in Shoal. Shoal is on this very southwest border zone, and I found that if I come in this one, I'm pretty close to my base. I would ask you, if you're finding my videos useful, I would ask you to like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel, and that would be very much appreciated if you would do that. Alright, so now if we look on the map, we're at the south end of Shoal. I didn't go in further across because it would just take me too far across the new play zone. The starting zones. So you can see my base now is only just over 1.4 miles away, so I'm just going to get across there now. You see all this haze on the left hand side? That's all the radiation zone. So as soon as you go in there, you will get the radiation zone marker, or the radiation marker as your radiation starts to go up. If you look on the left hand side at the bottom, just above and to the left of the Q, as I enter the radiation zone, I'll get a diamond with a radiation symbol inside it, and I'm not wearing a Mark 5 or a Mark 4 radiation suit, so it's going quite quick. You can see the red line going around. Once that gets to the all the way around, then you'll die of radiation sickness. Now you can see it was, as soon as I come out there, it starts to dissipate, and the iodine tablets will actually allow it to dissipate much quicker. So we're coming into the base now. Someone else has built a base right close to me now. I didn't know they could do it so close, but that's fine. Everybody wants this land. This is prime land right here. What I suggest you do as well, whether or not you come here on a sandbike, a buggy, or an ornithopter, make sure you pocket your vehicle. And I say that because if you get into combat when you're here and you're in a radiation zone and a hazmat suit, then you've got very little armor and you can get your ass kicked very quickly by these NPCs over here. Okay, so this is a guild base that I actually created all the way at the start of the game because I knew that we'd need Jasmine, so I made sure I come down here and got a sub-thief in place because this is a good spot. What we do is we do keep a couple of buggies down here for the mining. This one here is currently one of the guys in the guilds. I haven't got permissions on that one yet. And then we've got the storage boxes here where everyone stores their extra Jasmium Crystals before they take it back because it's heavy. So you can see my Jasmium here, the crystals I'm leaving here from last time I was here. They're just too many. I usually come down and assault ornithopter, load that up and take back what I can. But for this purpose, just to show you guys where to go and how to do it, I'm just going to go as I am and use my scout to go back to base afterwards, so make things a little bit quicker. I should be able to take all of this. Okay, we also leave a welding torch here. I do actually have one on me. And we also leave a little bit of fuel just in case somebody comes down here without fuel and they need to use the buggy. So I'll quickly put that together now, and then once the buggy's together, I'll get some fuel in it, and then we can start mining the Jasmine crystals. And we need to do this in a certain order, otherwise you can't actually put parts in. It's funny how you can put the the wheels, if you like, on last. Okay, so that's it. It's ready to go, but as you can see, if I hit F now and check manage, it'll have no fuel. So it has 0% fuel right now. As is the same with any vehicle, when you've taken it apart, disassembled it, and put it back together, it will have no fuel. I also have the customization skins. So I can customize this into an Atreides vehicle, or I can put it into the Harkonnen version. Honestly, I like the Atreides version, but I also do like the Harkonnen version. I am Atreides, full on Atreides. I took my colours off, if you like, during some combat through the week, so I think I'll just put that back on actually, because I am Atreides and I like to wear my Atreides colours, you know. And we're going to go... So that's the mercenary colour, blank, there's the Atreides one. Okay, so we're going to go Atreides. Then everyone knows what you are. Okay, so let's get some fuel in this real quick. We're going to come down to the box over at the end here, and there should be radiation kit suits, so there's some suits here. I'd rather wear a Mark 5 that's got a bit of wear left on it, so that one there will do. We do have some iodine pills here. I don't really find it necessary because we won't be out long enough, so we'll leave that as it is. Alright, so get your radiation suit on. It doesn't matter if you've got all the rest of your gear inside your backpack, you're not going to be filling that up anyway unless you're doing it by hand, which you can do, and I think you need a Mark 4 cutaway to be able to do that. But we have our vehicle here, so we're going to use this, and you can get there, you can drive around there, get over there on a buggy, or you can get over there on a sandbike. It's not too much of a problem. The land masses are fairly close together. Alright, so the first one we're going to this large one here. So as soon as I go in the zone now, you'll see the radiation will start to affect me, but not as much as it was before when I was in the ornithopter. And what we're looking for, these are jasmine crystals. And what you don't want to do, if you're on foot, don't stand in the pools, okay? If you stand in the pools, then your radiation effects will go up faster. Doesn't matter so much in a vehicle, but if you're on foot, then don't go standing in the pools. Also keep an eye out for enemy. You will sometimes find enemy NPCs in these areas, especially when you're coming across the downed ornithopters. They can be classed as crash sites, so therefore you might get an NPC or two around them, and believe me, they're tough. Mainly because you haven't got much armor, maybe, but they do take a few hits as well, so just beware of that. Now, if you're on a ornithopter, you can go on the top, and there's a couple on the top as well, or you can drive along. Get these ones over here. You can see my radiation levels going up. I never let it go over about 50%. I have died out here before, and it's a real pain, especially if you die and you don't have your vehicle with you. So that's why I said to make sure you pocket your vehicle. Whichever vehicle you've come in here in, then use that to get out in. Alright, so we're not going to go over there because that will have NPCs in and we don't want to fight, especially when we have no armor. Now, like I said, these pools, don't walk in them, okay? Drive over them by all means, but don't walk in them. If you get on in foot, then your radiation levels will go up faster. Alright, so as you can see, we're getting the Jasmium Crystals now, and they'll be going straight to the storage of the buggy. See, I'm not even at 25% yet, so you can get around quite well. I mean, you can go to the bigger ones, you can get the small ones, the small land masses. The worm isn't usually too much of a trouble here because you're getting to the next areas fairly quickly. I mean, I'm in a, was this a Mark IV buggy engine on this, so I'm not flying around really fast. I'm only going to go as fast as what your sandbike would, even as a tier 1 sandbike. That's only, I think, 66 if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll grab this one. We can continue round. There are further areas. If we open up the map now, you can see we've come from here, we've kind of gone across these, gone across the centre mass here. You can go all the way back along here, out to the zone here, and if your buggy's not full, you can actually kind of just sit still and then drive back. Go around, and then if you've got a base down here, come back to your base. If you don't, then you can certainly drive back to the landmass over here from here. I've done it many times. I know you can do it. Alright, but we're going to head back to the base now because I've got enough for this demonstration just to show you what we needed. So we've got a base inside there. I don't know why they do that. Just as a word of advice, don't bother. If you do build a base here and you're inside it, doesn't matter whether it's got power or not, you will not be protected from the radiation. Okay? So there's very little point in building one inside unless you're happy to be wearing a haz suit all the time and get radiation sickness. Alright, so that's PvP zone in there. Obviously, it's a shipwreck. So people can attack you when you go in there, along with the NPCs. And I'm going to just show you, actually, I'll show you how tough these NPCs are. I'll drive up there now. Now I do have Mark 6 stuff, and my weapons are also Mark 6, so put it along here. See if anything's in there. Alright, we'll jump out. Now, like I say, you can't... You can put your shields on, by all means, but you can't wear any armor. So... Okay, this one's good. This is just going to be explosives, so that's fine. You can absolutely go into this one. there's going to be explosives. Just avoid the explosives. We'll get across to all of them. Alright, and then we'll go back and we'll open it. So it's pretty good. You can get the radiated slag from here. And you should be able to get a blueprint from over this side, so we'll go across. There's another explosive just in front here if you see it. I mean, you can shoot them before you get there, but I don't really see the point. They're very quick. And if you really want to get fancy about it, you can even use your compactor and draw all the flames away. So that's another way of doing it. Alright, so we're going to jump across here. There's going to be another explosive just by the door here, but we can open it from here, so we'll quickly open the door. You can see my radiation levels now going up. There's an explosive right behind me. Okay, got the box, and now we're going to get out. Alright. Now people can be a bit funny about this, and they can think, oh, we'll take you on, and people do try and take you on as you leave. But we're going to get out of the zone now anyway and head back to base. Get out of this radiation. So we're about 50%, and we've got 680 meters. You'll see that actually we'll get back there before we get to the 75% mark anyway. We are making worm sounds, so I like to just drive across near the hard standing over here, just to distract the worm if it's on me, and then head straight back up to base. As you can see, this buggy's only doing 78, which is about as fast, I think, as a Mark II, Mark III. So you should be fine on a sand bike. Okay, so we'll get back in the base here. Now what we can do is the thing that they did initiate into the game, which they didn't have for some time, is now we can draw this straight out of the buggy and put it straight into storage. So now the buggy's empty. What I also need to do actually is I probably want to get rid of some of this extra weight that I'm carrying now. I don't really need to take this back to base. What I can do as well, re-gear myself so I can put all this back on. Okay, once you're geared back up, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that back in. Let's drop some. They've got some okay fuel cells here actually. They've got plenty. I don't think they need any extra. They can have a few bits and pieces there. Right. So now what we'll do is we'll take this apart and we'll detach everything, put it back in the box, and then it's ready for the next person to come out. If they come out, they won't be able to use the skin. It will come back out as a standard. So it will come out looking like that one there over there. And they'll have to reapply the skin if they want the skin. This is frustrating. This can be a little bit annoying. You have to get in sometimes in exactly the right place to be able to take parts off. Okay, we want to take this off. Almost there. Right, then we'll pop our vehicle into storage, ready for the next person. And that's it. Just check, make sure that I put everything in there. I have come along here before and the chassis wasn't here. It was very frustrating because I had no vehicle I could use then. Okay, so all I'll be doing now is going back to base. Ordinarily, I would load up my assault and take an assault back. That way I've got a nice bit of Jasmium Crystals to take back with me. So I hope the video has been instructive and useful. Like I say, really useful to come down to the south here, make a little base and just store a buggy or even some storage just for boxes if you're just using a sand bike. Just put a small subfeed. You don't have to have a large one. If you put a large one down, remember you're going to have to pay taxes. But if you just put a small subfief down here, you won't even have to pay taxes for it, and then it's just a base you can come back to anytime you want to do a bit of jasmium mining, come back, and then fly out. Alright, hope it's been useful. Thanks for joining.